What's going on, people? Welcome to DR Sports and welcome to the Game Day preview show where we look at the biggest and best games, all the games of the Premier League weekend coming up. I'm here with Nicky Hawkins. What are you saying, bro?
I'm good, man. You?
You're on Crowd Line.
What can I say?
Little old us just over here, just chilling. You're in European semi-finals, mate.
Listen, man, this is unprecedented territory for me. So I'm just enjoying the ride, but the more I enjoy it, the further we seem to go. So, yeah, I'm going to carry on, man.
I remember when speaking to you earlier on in the season, and it was very much, well, listen, mate, we're in the Europa League. We'll see how that goes. Top four race ain't going to last very long. It's all going to fizzle out. And, yeah, the top four aspects of it might have done, has done.
We're still there.
But you're still you haven't faded like you probably thought.
No.
And then look how far you've gone in the bloody...
Honestly, I thought we'd be miles away by now. But look, the boys have done us proud this year.
Yeah,
the boys have done us really proud this year.
Yeah.
Now, hopefully, mate, I don't care what happens now.
Exactly.
Just win a trophy. That's all I want to see, a trophy.
Yeah, you're that close now. You're that close. But we'll talk about, obviously, West Ham's game in the Premier League. But we have to start with the game of the weekend. Is it the game? Yeah, I'll probably say so. Arsenal versus Manchester United at the Emirates, 12:30 kickoff on Saturday. Arsenal are unbeaten in their last 3 Premier League home games against Man United, winning 2 and drawing 1, keeping clean sheet each time. They've never kept a clean sheet in 4 consecutive home league games against Man United. And Man United won the reverse fixture 3-2 against Arsenal in December, ending a 6-game winless run against the Gunners in the Premier League. They're looking to complete their first double over them since the 17-18 season, the infamous Jesse Lingard dance floor.
Yeah.
Bro, we are a disgrace.
I got to agree.
We are in the mud.
Yeah.
The players have given up. I could go on. How do you see Man United now and Arsenal and these two teams in this game?
Comments from certain players in the week. Disruptions in the crowd when you beat Norwich. With Bruno saying we've got nothing to fight for. That's atrocious. I think that's atrocious attitude. I think it's atrocious behaviour. For a club like Manchester United, it's imperative that you get into the Champions League. That is the only route you've got. And regardless of whether Bruno Fernandes thinks it's possible or not, there were still things to fight for, whether it be against Liverpool, Norwich or Arsenal this week. So to see someone like him throwing in the towel, I don't think that's good enough for Manchester United. They're a well-respected, well-decorated club. He was a phenomenon when he came here last year, and he just hasn't done the same this year. You can say that about loads of players at United. They're just I can't work it out, Flex. I can't work it out. I can't work it out. There's so much going on at the club. You've got the owners, you've got, the management situation, you've got some players, obviously. There's obviously a huge divided dressing room there.
Yeah.
There's a culture that I don't think, you look at Roy Keane talking week in, week out, he knows more than anyone. There's a culture at Man United and it just isn't followed anymore. There's no winning mentality. So, whether they think they've got to fight for anything or not, fight for the pride, fight for the club, fight for the badge,
do it
fight
for
the
yourself.
fans.
Nick, I've been saying to them, I've been saying to them, I've been saying, do it for yourself as a man, like as a professional, do it for you. Show some courage, show some pride in yourself as a professional.
Yeah.
Like, with the application. And when you said that we should be looking to be in the top 4 and stuff like that, I'll be honest with you, Nick. With how bad we are, I think we actually need to get what we deserve, which is not being in it.
Nothing.
The Glazers not picking up Champions League money and saying, do you know what, that was an awful season, but at least we got, we can go and sprinkle some bit of dust on it. No, we need to understand that Europa League's not our level. A couple of seasons ago, in the semi-final against Sevilla, 1-0 up at half-time, lost 2-1 in the semi-finals, went out. Last year, lost in the Europa League final to Villarreal, so that's not our level.
Yeah.
Just about scraped out the groups this year in Champions League, knocked out round of 16. Last time he was in it, knocked out by RB Leipzig, then went into the Europa League and didn't win it. So Europe's not our level because the squad needs ripping up. I actually think we need to not be in anything, just for the shock factor and for the knock-on effect to say real change has to happen. This team is barely Conference League level,
Yeah.
because it needs ripping up. I know we've got good individuals. some, you think you look at Pogba, you say, I'm tired of them all.
I think you should. I know it's a hard thing to say, but for a club, but when you get into this sort of state, I think you need to get nothing so that there's certain egos want to leave.
Exactly.
There's so many egos in the changing room saying, well, I should be playing Champions League football, and that's when they start to give up.
Then piss off then.
Yeah, go and play Champions League football. You got to have players in there that are willing to fight for the club, that willing to fight for themselves, willing to fight for the fans. And if you've got people like Bruno Fernandes saying, look, this is not good enough for me.
Yeah.
And we're not fighting for anything. It's a problem.
It's a problem, yeah.
It's a huge problem.
Perfluxy, thank you for the super chat. Says if Man United win, Ty has to sing "Glory, Glory, Man United." He definitely wouldn't do that. But on Arsenal, let's talk about them. A big win, a stunning win.
It was
Again, I don't think even their own fans, nobody could have seen Arsenal going there and winning the game and even at 4-2 as well. That's an unbelievable result. Chelsea were really poor. Yes, Thiago Silva didn't start. No Rudiger. Havertz wasn't playing. They changed it around a bit, but no excuses for how poor they played. But Arsenal really were aggressive. They played well. They sensed the opportunity. They smelt blood, didn't they? And they just kept going.
Yeah, there was a couple of big performances out there. I think Nketiah was brilliant.
Yeah, he was.
Yesterday. I mean, I know there's been a lot of talk about him. He's saying that he wants to leave Arsenal for to get regular football. Lacazette saying he wants to be
wants
off
to play
in the summer.
Champions League.
Wants to play Champions League.
Cheekies.
Listen. He left Lyon 6 years ago to play Champions League football, and I don't think he's stepped onto a Champions League field, has he? I think he would have had more better of a chance if he joined us rather than Arsenal. But no, but in seriousness, with Arsenal, there's a couple of players now, I think, stepping up. They've got a very thin squad as well.
Yeah.
I think Smith Rowe was brilliant. I think Saka was brilliant yesterday.
Odegaard was good.
Odegaard was
Xhaka.
Xhaka was very good, yeah. Not too sure about the goalkeeper, but I think he's a shocking goalkeeper, to be honest.
Ramsdale?
Ramsdale.
Shocking keeper?
Yeah, I think he's shocking.
In general, overall, everything?
I think he gets a pass from Arsenal fans because he G's them up.
I've been called a hater. I wouldn't call him shocking keeper, though, but I get, he does
that
get...
That goal yesterday, that was shocking goalkeeping, man. Come on.
The fans are going to come. They're going to come for you in here now. They're going to come for you in here.
Let them come for me.
Khalid says that El Neni was fire. He was very good. His work went under the radar. But it's Ramsdale. Look, his distribution is pretty good. He makes some good saves and stuff. But I do think a lot of it is more the personality he's bringing to the Arsenal team, like the high-fiving all the time.
Yeah, he plays up to the crowd.
He's a character, and they've needed that. Man United have announced Erik ten Hag as well. I'm just going to say it from now. That will have no bearing on the game whatsoever. It's not like we've got a bunch of committed players who want to impress the incoming manager.
Yeah.
We've got a bunch of players going to be out of contract, leaving, overhaul. They couldn't give a crap. They've shown they couldn't give a crap. Yeah. And it's not like Ten Hag's in the stadium watching. This is happening. He's in title race with Ajax. So, but we have announced it. Just before we go into predictions for the game, where do you think Man United will finish?
Oh, it's a tough one, man. It's a tough one. Definitely not 4.
No,
that's for sure.
No.
5th or 6th. I think 7th.
I do as well.
Yeah, I think 7th. I think we'll pip you. To be honest, I think we'll pip you to 6th. Yeah.
And you've even got one eye on the,
yeah.
And you're still.
I think the momentum might just carry us through. I do, but we've been chucking over the past couple of weeks. But I know there's a few players, going to want to pull their socks up. For us, but I can't see that happening at United. But you never know. Obviously you was out with Cristiano. Obviously for personal circumstances. So hopefully him coming back a bit fired up. I don't know.
Yeah,
but. I think 7th.
Yeah. And
I think if you finish 7th, I think there'll be a lot of that looking for the exit. But
yeah,
there we go.
Yeah, 100%. And on the game, before we move on to the next game now, get your prediction for the game.
I think Arsenal are going to win 2-0.
That's exactly what I had.
Yeah.
That's exactly what I had. I predicted that, 2-0. I don't see how we show any minerals at the Emirates. Arsenal fans will be up for it. Players will be up for it. And they know that it's a 6-pointer. Beat Man United, just 6 points ahead of them with a game in hand. It's almost like the final now.
That race for top 4 between Tottenham and them is going to be nice because there's a North London derby still to come. So that's, but I think they carry on the momentum. I know that there's a few Arsenal fans that are a bit worried because United always seem to find a way. But I can't see them finding a way this week. But you never know, I may be wrong.
Moving on, next game, Leicester against Aston Villa. Leicester City have lost the exact fixture 1-0 last season with Ross Barkley netting the winner in the 90th minute. Remember Ross Barkley?
Yeah, yeah.
Wow. I always see him sitting on the bench at Chelsea, just nuts.
He's warming that bench nicely.
Unbelievable. They've not lost consecutive home league games to Aston Villa since April 1981, and Villa looking to complete a league double over Leicester for the first time since 2003-2004 season, following their 2-1 win at Villa Park in the reverse fixture. Weird game. Let's start with Villa. Because I feel like Gerrard deserved that Villa job. He went there at the right time, and the early signs were quite promising. I don't know if they look worse. I don't know. They just look flat. They're on an awful run of form as well.
These two teams, this is the battle of inconsistency between the two teams, because
Yeah,
they
Leicester
both
the
look
same,
like well beaters 1 minute, and then they're atrocious the next
Yeah.
minute. Villa, do you know what they got? Who did they get beat by? They got beat
Tottenham.
5-2 by 5-2, 5-1?
4-1.
4-1
Yeah.
by Tottenham. Tottenham scored that early
What was it,
goal.
4-0? Can't remember, but yeah. Tottenham scored early, and then
they battered them. They battered them and battered them and battered them. Like when I switched that back on after the first half, I thought, I think Villa are going to get a result here.
Yeah.
And then they've lost 4 or 5, whatever it was.
Yeah.
I was thinking, like, what is going on? But Leicester are the same. Leicester, Everton last night, they go 1-0 up, couldn't see it out. They've done the same against us. This could be anything.
Yeah.
There is no prediction here. This could be literally anything. 5-5.
high scoring draw you're going with, yeah? Yeah, I think Brendan Rodgers has been up against it this season. There's been times where he's really been questioned, where you're looking at Leicester and thinking, it just needs a refresh.
Yeah.
I think there's a couple of players who want out, probably want to go on to, no disrespect to Leicester because they're a fantastic club, but bigger things.
Yeah, yeah.
Players' contracts coming to an end, they're not signing, like say Yuri Tillemans, and then then they put in a couple of good performances in the Coquet. They done well in the Conference League. I think it is. They're through to the next round, I believe, aren't they? Didn't they beat PSV?
They got the semi-final. They got Roma in the semi-final.
There you go. That'll be a tasty game as well.
Yeah.
Jose Mourinho's Roma. So, I mean, the Conference League is a bit of a weird one, but it's still a European competition.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's a weird one for Leicester and Villa. I just feel like, I don't know, man. Gerrard's been really highly hyped up, and I felt like it was justified at the beginning. Done really well at Rangers, really well. Probably would have liked to stay there and won a couple more titles, but to get that job and inherit that Villa squad, that's really exciting.
It is exciting.
Do you know he's got a good squad there? It was perfect for him. I just feel like he's flattered to deceive a little bit, man. He's just got a bit of Gerrard gas. Just not really been there.
I think they're a good side, Villa, but they need a few more.
Yeah.
They need a top centre forward.
Yeah.
And
another centre half as well.
A centre half and probably someone to sit like a top player. Some of these Villa fans are delusional, though, mate. They're talking about like signing Rice and Pogba and that. I don't know what they've been smoking, but
they do need a good transfer window, good summer, which obviously Gerrard hasn't had yet.
Yeah.
So you got to give him his dues.
And Coutinho, whether he's going to go there or not, God knows,
exactly. They had a decent January bringing in Target went, but they brought in Digne.
Yeah.
January, and then they brought in Coutinho as well. So good moves.
Yeah.
But he needs probably a summer pre-season. And
I
stuff
think so.
Like that, so you can really judge him. But so far, it's not been great. I'm going to go over 1-1. You're saying? Well, you said 5-5.
This could, honestly, I could pick this. I'll shake one of them magic dice and pick a result here. Let's go 2-1 Villa.
Okay. Some of the comments here says Gerrard has English bias on his side, says Michelle. And Ramsdale is a Jordan Pickford tribute act, says the Spaniard. And Tendium says English media always hype up inexperienced English managers. Seeing them fail is amazing to see. And Chabadi G says Man United are a joke, banter club. With the next Nottingham Forest. Thank you, Chabadi G. Let's get on to Manchester City, coming off the back of a 3-0 win against Brighton last night. Watford coming off the back of a loss to Leeds at home, I want to say. 2-1, that wasn't. No, Brentford. Who did Watford lose against? Was it Leeds or was it Brentford? Brentford, sorry. Yeah, Brentford, not Leeds. They lost. That was the game before. Brentford 2-1. Let's start with Manchester City. Looking to home in on that Premier League. They have to win every game. Liverpool have to win every game. Whoever drops points first, it's a proper shootout, proper title race, isn't it?
It's exciting.
Yeah.
Because I remember back in December or November when we done a preview, we were saying it's over. It was like a 15-point gap, and Liverpool and Man City, I think we're looking at two of the greatest Premier League squads in our generation, to be quite honest with you. The treble winning side of Manchester United was brilliant. The Arsenal Invincibles was great. But these two, for consistency, year in, year out, they're just breaking records all the time. And the two of them are as good as each other. And two world-class managers going head-to-head. It is exciting to watching it go down. I still think Liverpool are going to win this title.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think Liverpool win every game until the end of the season.
I don't think City will.
And I don't think City. I think they'll slip up somewhere. They've got us last game of the season.
Where's that? At your stadium?
It is at our place, yeah. And there's we've got a history of upsetting Manchester clubs trying to go for the title.
Do.
You know what I mean?
You do sometimes. Yeah. I remember that day. Man.
But that's after the Europa League final and everything else. So it's going to be a fantastic game. But I think there's a little bit of a twist and a turn in this one, yeah. But in terms of this game, Watford, atrocious, to be quite honest with you. Can't seem to be able to find or buy a win at times. They're going to be, I think they're sort of resigned to going down now.
I think so. I think I look at a lot of how their fan base is reacting. I got a lot of people that I know, big up my people, the Watford fans. I speak with them a lot, and when I speak to them, they're saying that they're fed up of the club now. And the hope and how the club's run. They need a new direction. It's actually probably a good thing that they go down and can get a new manager and change their whole direction and start sticking with a manager and building the philosophy, building something.
Yeah, they sack managers like
it works for a bit.
It works for a bit, yeah, but this time it hasn't worked. But there's a funny thing though about these teams, because when they're so close to going down and they're resigned to going down, this is when they start to play freely.
Pressure's off.
Yeah. And the shackles come off and they don't feel the pressure and anything else. But they're not quite down yet, Watford. But I expect them to be down in a few weeks. But this is not the game where they get anything. This is a 4-5, 6-0 drubbing.
Yeah, I think and unfortunately for Watford, they have a horrendous, aggregate scores over them. And Manchester City have won 15 of their last 16 Premier League games against sides of the relegation zone. And they've won their last 9 matches by aggregate against teams that are in that area of the pitch 31-0. And Man City have won their last 14 meetings with Watford in all competitions. They've become the first English side in history to win 15 consecutive competitive games against an opponent, and Watford have lost their last 11 of their 12 away games. Exactly. Yeah. I do fear for Watford. Football. Damage limitation, if they can keep the score respectable. Scoreline
5-0.
5-0.
5-0.
I'll say 4.
Rampant City.
I'll say 4. Try and be a little bit kinder.
Rampant.
Next up, Norwich City versus Newcastle. Newcastle, what is it, the 40-point mark? Safe. They've done really well. And actually, I think since January, I think it's them and Liverpool got the most points.
Yeah.
In really good form. Apart from that really out-of-character performance against Spurs when they lost 4-0, where they just capitulated 4-1 when they capitulated, or it might have even been 5. Apart from that, they've just been racking up wins or points, should I say?
We done a preview when they was on the pivot. It was them and Everton, I believe, and they won that game. Since then, since the takeover, the belief is. You see them at the weekend, they're taking like celebration photos. They've reached 11th, which is, don't get me wrong, it's unbelievable because they were sitting at the bottom of the league without any wins after about 15 games, So it's fantastic for Newcastle fans. They're a massive club, Newcastle.
Yeah.
You want teams like that in the league. But I don't like them being up here because I have to climb up about 4,000 stairs.
That away end is a joke. I remember reading somewhere when Rafa was still there, that they were going to move that away end or something, so that it's been like that for years, all the way up in the gods.
Well,
no lift, nothing.
There is a rule in the league that fans have to be by pitch side. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
The away fans need to be by pitch side. There's
really?
A rule. The only 2 dispensations in that is Newcastle and Manchester United.
Yeah, because Man United, you're up in the corner behind the flag.
But that is a bloody long staircase,
It's
mate.
awful,
But,
especially when you've lost.
Especially when you've lost, yeah. Coming down, it ain't much fun either. But they've been fantastic, Newcastle, and I am happy to see them. I could have seen them going down.
It wasn't looking good.
No, it wasn't looking good. They needed to get the transfer window right. They did.
They did, didn't they? Got it spot on.
Yeah, they got it spot on.
And then they lost Trippier for a long time as well. And still managed to kick on.
When they was picking up them first couple of wins, because he only played a couple of games.
Yeah.
I thought the loss of him may be a problem, but no, it's not. They've been fantastic. Norwich, on the other hand, a little bit of fight coming out of them.
Yeah, it's weird. I mean, you would still say they're going to be down because I just don't see how they put enough together to catch Everton. Everton getting a little bit of, confidence now. And Burnley are still in there. You've got to leapfrog them. Yes, you might be able to leapfrog Watford, but there's so much to leapfrog to actually stay up. But they are showing a little bit of fight under Dean Smith, and Norwich are unbeaten in the last 4 Premier League games against Newcastle, winning 2 and drawing 2, having been winless in 6 against them previously. Having won their first away Premier League game against Norwich, 2-1 in January '94, Newcastle are winless in their last 7 top-flight visits to Carrow Road. So the history they don't travel well to Carrow Road.
That is a bogey ground for them. I was listening to one of Robbie's shows earlier, and he had the Newcastle fan on, and he was saying they don't travel well to Carrow Road.
Yeah.
That being said, with them safe, I'm going for a Norwich win.
Oh, okay. You think they might clock out and just Norwich will go for it?
I think Newcastle were safe. They've got the pressure off their shoulders. Sort of holiday mode now, unless they want to, achieve a little top 10 finish. But I think Norwich, with to play for, I think they win this game. I think they win this 1-0.
I'm going to go the other way.
Oh, yeah.
Nick, I think because the pressure's off, it was St. Maximin was dancing around the ball the other day. Pressure off. It's nice. Bruno Guimaraes. Unbelievable.
Crazy, wasn't it?
Unbelievable. Bruno Guimaraes is really endearing himself to the fans. He's on a bit of a run. They're starting to play now. Starting to enjoy themselves.
Yeah.
And I think actually they've got some decent players. They still need a lot more quality going forward for next week, but they've got some decent players that, when in a positive mood, I think they can do bits. So I'm going to go with a Newcastle win.
Okay.
Yeah, I'm going to go with 2-1 Newcastle win.
Fair.
Yeah, but I can see why you said what you said as well. Brentford Tottenham. This, I think, is a real big banana skin for Spurs. Brentford, there was a point probably a couple of months ago where I really worried for them because they just couldn't buy a win.
No.
And you're thinking, right, Watford will be able to catch them, Burnley can catch them, Everton, it's all getting kind of compacted into this really tight area of the table, and they could keep slipping because it started so well. But then they picked up some massive wins, beat teams in and around them, then beat teams at the top of the league.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And Tottenham, off the back of a loss to Brighton at home, and they were completely nullified.
Yeah.
Harry Kane was out of the game. Tottenham deserved to lose that game. They were really poor, and Brighton were really, really good.
Yeah.
2 wins in North London in the space of a week. How do you see this one?
We went to Brentford last week. They're a decent outfit, although we didn't cover ourselves in glory. No. They're a decent outfit, and they have got some danger going forward. Sometimes they're not great at the back, Brentford, but they've got some danger men going forward. Even Tony is a handful.
And he's in good form as well.
He is in good form.
So is Mbeumo
Tottenham's defence at times is shambolic. But that being said, they have got a world-class attack. There is nothing, you can't take that away from them. Son, Kane, and...
Did Brighton prove, though, that you can nullify them?
You can nullify them.
They sat Basuma on top of Kane and
of
said
course.
And Kane had nothing.
That's the thing with Kane. If you don't give him the space, he ain't got that pace or anything to get away from you. You know what I mean? Like, if you get someone just following him around, and he's the talisman. I'm going to go for a Brentford win here.
Yeah.
I know that people in the chat, I can see the chat here, that you never predict a Tottenham win, but just the form. I think Brentford are going to nick this one.
Okay, I'm going with Kumran here. He goes, I'm going 2-2 for that. I don't know definitely if that's the score, but I'm going to go with a draw. I feel like, I look at what Christian Eriksen's done since he's come in there.
He's phenomenal.
He's away from the story of what was really important about Christian Eriksen being alive. But not only is he alive, he's not just come back to be a bit part. He looks as good as he's ever been.
He's pulling strings, mate.
Exactly.
Yeah,
he got a cigar out. He's chilling, mate.
Yeah. When we played them last week, we've got some good midfielders, West Ham, and he give them the runaround. And I was saying to the others, like, if we get into the Champions League next year, if we win the Europa League, I'd have him in a heartbeat.
100%.
Heartbeat. But look, listen, I hope he gives Brentford another year, because I know there's been talk of him.
Story,
yeah, I know there's been talk about him going back to Tottenham, and he just said, look, I'm here for the moment, and we'll see what happens at the end of the season. But I hope they, that he really does appreciate the faith they've put in him, because that's a big call.
It's weird though, because actually, if you think about it from Eriksen's fit, I think he's definitely going to. Thomas Frank's his native Danish, friend, compatriot. I think even if he left, he would still be very endearing to them. But then, if you think about it from Eriksen's point of view, at this age of his career, with what he's come back from,
if he wants to get back to the top, he's only got
you can't be waiting
year,
around.
Isn't it? Yeah,
you've got to, and that's I think even Brentford fans would be like, "Listen, that 6 months was amazing. Thank you so much. You actually helped cement us in the league." Really, let's be honest, because since he's gone there, they've been flying.
He's been phenomenal.
He's facilitating there. So I'm going to go over 2-2. I mean, even in the top 4 race as well with Spurs. Arsenal, obviously Man United are out of that, in my opinion anyway.
They keep on leaving the doors open though.
Yeah, we can't exploit it. We can't, Nick. We honestly, we
see, if we'd have beat Brentford, we'd have been back in the race. Imagine.
But do you see getting the top 4? Or the 4th spot, should I say? Or could Chelsea keep capitulating?
I think they could. Yeah, we'll talk about that a little bit later. But I think there's more than one place to play for.
Yeah.
For them 3 teams, to be honest.
Okay. Well, me and Nick have gone with draw. You've gone with Brentford.
No, I went for a Brentford
win. I'm going to go with a draw. On that one. Brighton against Southampton. Brighton really picked it up last couple of games. But against Southampton, Brighton have won just one of their 9 Premier League games against Southampton, drawing 5 and losing 3, and they yet to beat the Saints at home in the competition. So it's weird. They can be in a good moment, but against this individual team, they haven't got a good record. Southampton have won each of their last 3 Premier League away games against Brighton. They've never won 4 consecutive top-flight visits against an opponent in their history. How do you see this one? Southampton come off the back of a 1-0 win against Arsenal.
Brighton are a good, solid team, but they struggle to score goals. And that's been their problem all season. If they had a goal scorer, they'd be up there with us, I think.
Yeah.
But they're good at keeping things compact.
Play good football.
But they do play good football under Potter. But Southampton, again, funny side.
Never know what you're
going to get. Yeah. They can turn up. They're brilliant 1 minute, and then they're awful the next. I think they will score against Brighton, and that we're saying Brighton are going to be low scorers. Yeah. I think this was a 1-1. Yeah, it's got 1-1. Yeah, I mean,
providing that Southampton don't capitulate, which they can just do at any moment.
They can,
Southampton, I've been full of praise for them in certain games. I remember when they went to the Etihad and played City at their place, got draws in both games, I believe. Then they got a draw at Man United and played really well. And I watched them that day, obviously, and looked at them closely. And Che Adams is buzzing about the place. You know what you're going to get with Ward-Prowse and things like that.
I mean, that's the ace in their sleeve. Ward-Prowse is the ace in Southampton's sleeve, because when you've got such a good free kick taker or corner taker, set piece taker, if you like, as that, anything can happen. And that, he is world class at that. I remember when we had Dimitri Payet for the season. He was a phenomenal player, but you knew any free kick in and around the box.
They're like penalties.
They're like penalties. Yeah,
they're that much of an advantage.
They are that good at them, and that's the thing about Southampton. That's what you get. Anything around that box, any foul around that box, which I think
you're in big trouble.
Yeah, you're in big trouble. Even if it's the delivery, he's a world class deliverer of the ball as well. So. Yeah, but I think it's got 1-1 written all over it, to be honest.
I think it does. Yeah. I agree with you there, Nick. I can't disagree with you on that one. Burnley Wolves.
Oh, God.
Burnley Wolves, interesting one, this. We'll start picking up the pace a little bit here. After losing their first 3 Premier League meetings with Wolves, Burnley are now unbeaten in the last 6 against them. So they like playing against Wolves in the last 6 games, winning 3 and drawing 3. Wolves are winless in their last 5 away league games against Burnley. They don't like going there since the 2-1 win in March 2010. However, they have not lost consecutive league visits to Turf Moor since November 63.
Burnley are not a good side.
And the table would suggest that.
And the table would suggest that. Yeah, they're not a great side, Burnley, but they're frustrating.
Very frustrating.
And we've been there. We went to Turf Moor, and we played them last week. They're a team that
What was that score? Did you win?
1-1.
Oh,
It was 1-1. Yeah, they dig their heels. You know, they dig their heels. They've got a phenomenal goalkeeper, and that's the
Nick Pope. Oh yeah, you played them the other day, innit?
Yeah,
Weghorst scored, and Nick Pope was making.
He's a phenomenal goalkeeper.
Yeah.
But they're a difficult side to play against, and again, Wolves, they're up there. But they're another team. Any time that the door gets left open for them, they fail to capitalise on that. I think Burnley win this one, Flex.
Do you?
Yeah, I do. I think there's going to be a huge improvement. They lost Westwood last week. I mean, God, you know, the injury that he got is we wish him all the best, and he is an important player. But I think there's fight in Burnley. They're not a good side, but they can fight. I don't see the same in Everton, and I know we're going to talk about Everton in a minute. I think they could stay up.
E20's own TV, one of your lot, says we was lucky versus Burnley.
We was.
They missed a penalty. Cornet misses that penalty. That could have been 2-0. And you probably don't come back from that. You know, you never know, but it would have made it really difficult. But once you did get back in,
we're cruising.
Yeah, look at this. There's a bit of European football. You like Premier League, whatever happens.
It's the hangovers.
Fair play.
You know what I mean?
Yeah, late night trips back.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Fair enough. What are you going with on this?
Burnley. I'm going to go.
Burnley. Oh, you went
2-1.
Burnley. Yeah. All right, then I'll go with you on that.
Yeah.
I
think so.
Right, fair enough.
There's a twist in the towel. Yeah.
Right. Chelsea against West Ham United. Chelsea coming off the back of a shocking performance against Arsenal. You coming off the back of a draw against Burnley.
Mediocre.
And obviously, by the time you play them, when have you got? No, it's next week.
Next Thursday.
Okay, so it's not sandwiched in between that. So you've had a week off.
Yep.
Which is much needed actually to recharge the batteries.
More than what they've had.
Exactly, more than what they've had. Chelsea have lost just one of their last 15 Premier League home games against West Ham, winning 10 and drawing 4. Going down 1-0 in November 2019, and West Ham have won 3 of their last 5 Premier Leagues against Chelsea, Premier League games against Chelsea, including a 3-2 win at the London Stadium in a reverse fixture this season. The Hammers had only won 3 of their previous 26 games against the Blues before this, drawing 6 and losing 17. So before that, not a great record against them.
No.
But the stats suggest you don't like going to the Bridge, though.
No, it's never been a happy hunting ground. Although over the last sort of in the modern era, it's been tight there.
Yeah.
You know, they haven't run away with it.
Yeah.
I've been to every one, and you know, it's never a dull game. Their home form at the minute, Flex, is shocking.
They've lost their last 3 home games.
11 goals conceded.
Unbelievable.
You know, 4 against Brentford, 4 last night against Arsenal, 3 against Real Madrid. There's, you know, it's odd watching the games because you can see the stands are not full.
Yeah,
you know, there's not all the fans there. I don't know what they're going to be doing about the away fans.
The away fans are still allowed to go.
But I know we're allowed to go, but whether they can travel away from now, if they can't sell any more tickets, I'm not sure.
Oh, the away fans to go to other games.
Yeah.
Chelsea's away fans. Hey, they've been going. I think they've been going.
But they might have been already sold.
Oh right. Oh yeah, the next batch that needs to be sold.
So
I'm with you.
I don't know. Maybe someone can tell us in the chat or whatever.
Yeah.
So I don't know what's going on with that. But it seems like it's upset them a little bit at home. In terms of like everything that's going on. I mean, the news that's coming out today, you just told me this now, like, you know, another new bidder for the club.
Potentially Lewis Hamilton and Serena Williams.
Crazy.
I don't even know what to make. Like, where's that? That's incredible.
Yeah.
Like,
I mean, you see that there's a Twitter account called Unlikely Matchups.
Yeah.
That is an unlikely matchup for me. Serena Williams owning Chelsea.
Do you know what's funny? The Mobo Awards are tweeting about it. Mobo Awards have got a tweet saying Serena Williams and Sir Lewis Hamilton, 2 of the world's biggest sports stars, are committing millions as part of a bid to become the new owners of Chelsea Football Club. If successful, they will become the first black owners of a Premier League club. Black ownership, you know, during the BLM sort of stuff, that was what a lot of people were talking about. Black-owned businesses. Didn't think Chelsea would be one of them.
No, definitely not. No.
That's insane. Nikhil, thanks for the super chat, says, bro, Guna here. No disrespect to United, but I believe United will... Arsenal will beat Man United 2-0. Nikhil, there is no disrespect taken, because I agree with you, and I'm a Man United fan. On Saturday, despite the absences of Tierney and Partey, of course, anything can happen in football. No, anything can happen, but I do agree with you with that. But yeah, back to Chelsea.
Yeah.
Potential new owners coming in there. That'd be amazing. Wow.
Just a bit in the air at the moment there, isn't it? You just don't know what's going to happen.
Yeah.
I mean, the fans, you can feel the fans are nervous, and you see
Rightly so, yeah.
Azpilicueta last night having confrontations with the fans, because the fans, they've had so much, it's not always been smooth sailing under Abramovich, not by a long shot, but they've had so much that they know that, if it goes wrong, he's going to be there to bail them out again. He's going to be there to sack the manager and put the new one in. He's going to be there to, if the players aren't pulling their weight, to buy new. They haven't got that. Azpilicueta, I think he's about 72 isn't he, by now. I don't know how old he is, but they haven't got that comfort now. He's gone. They can't spend anything. They can't do anything, and the frustrations are starting to creep in. And as every game that they lose at home, it's going to get worse and worse and worse. And that last night is going to hurt them badly. I think we can go there Sunday and win.
You have every reason
right
to believe that you can.
The only problem is with us, Flex, is our centre-back situation. All of our centre-backs now look to be out for the season, except for Dawson. Now,
What happened to Kazuma?
He's ankle. He's rolled his ankle. He's out for a little while. Issa Diop stepped in.
Out for the rest of the season?
It could be, yeah, potentially.
And Diop's out for the rest of the season?
Issa Diop got an injury last week against Brentford. Burnley. He could be out for the rest of the season. Ogbonna was already out for the rest of the season, but he could be coming back to save us.
And he hasn't played
He hasn't played at all. Now, we've got a big decision to make against Chelsea, and that's, do we tinker with the formation?
To put Declan in.
Yeah, to put Declan in, which, God forbid, I don't want that to happen.
Takes out so much out your
Although we've got a kid called Elise who hasn't played a lot of games but is very, very highly rated.
Centre-half.
Now, with our semi-final coming up, whatever was going to go on here, just try it.
He's got to put trust in.
Just try it. Just try it against Chelsea, because it's a good practice for Elise. I mean, I remember Bren Johnson coming in a few years ago at Man City and done very, very well. So just put the confidence in the kid. Let him go out against Chelsea, because Eintracht Frankfurt are not as good as Chelsea.
Yeah.
If he does all right there, you've got a plan. But this, I know it sounds ridiculous, but it's like a friendly.
It's a free hit, it is a free hit. You're not expected
to get top four.
The pressure's on Chelsea.
The pressure is on Chelsea.
All on Chelsea.
And we've got to try these players out, because we've got a huge pressure game on Thursday.
Is it at home, first leg?
First leg is at home.
So that's why, again, if the young kid does well at Chelsea, you can put him in at home.
You can put him in at home, and then he's got a couple of games under his belt.
Okay.
That could hamper us, because if he doesn't have a good game, we're going to get beat quite badly by Chelsea. But I'm going to plump for a draw.
Yeah.
Here, just because of our, I think we've got every right to go there and look for a win. But I think it's going to be a draw, because I think he does experiment, and I think it comes to bite us on the arse.
Chelsea are, a bit weird under Tuchel as well. I mean, you look at the loss against Brentford, but then you look at how they played against Real Madrid. I know they conceded 3 at home to Real Madrid, but they were still okay in that game. It was the Mendy mistake. Then you look at how they played away at Madrid. Don't know how they didn't win that game.
Chalk and cheese, mate.
Exactly. So they're capable of switching gears.
6-0 last week against
Southampton.
Southampton, yeah.
Then they go and do this. So they're capable, obviously, the European champions last year. But I do expect some sort of reaction from Chelsea, though. I think he changed that formation. The 2 up top doesn't work. Lukaku's null and void. I don't know what's happened there. I was in the camp of, I really thought that would work. I really did. The story, the romantic side of it and stuff, him coming back, hasn't worked.
Lukaku, Flex, he seemed to have thrown in the towel before he even started playing for him.
He
was only there for a couple of months, and he's talking about going back to Inter Milan.
Yeah.
He just paid £100 million for the man.
Exactly. It's disgraceful what's happened, really. So I think Havertz comes back in. He drops back to the bench.
Yeah.
Rudiger and Thiago Silva come back in. They get their proper team back in. Yeah. That's why I think it could be difficult for you. Having said that, I like your draw, though. I do like your draw, but I'm just going to tip Chelsea to nick it 2-1.
Fair play.
Yeah. Liverpool-Everton. Everton showing a little bit of fight. They beat Man United. They got a draw in the last minute against Newcastle. That I'm not going to say that's them safe. There's still a lot to do, but they're showing a little bit, even though they're not very good. They're not a very good team, and Liverpool will make sure they don't look like a very good team. Liverpool, I think, will trounce them.
This is going to knock the stuffing out of them.
Yeah, bring them back down to reality.
This is going to. I mean, Liverpool. You can always say about derbies. Anything can happen in a derby. Anything can happen in a derby. As good as Liverpool are, they've beat Manchester United 9-0. that is a proper derby for them. You know, that is a, you know, I know it's not a city derby, but in terms of rivals, they're massive rivals. They're the derbies that they look for every season. They've beaten 9-0 in aggregate over 2 games. You know, Liverpool don't feel this pressure.
Sorry, it was Leicester. Sorry that Everton got that against here, not Newcastle. My bad.
Everton.
But they did beat Newcastle in the last minute as well, didn't they? When they were down to 10 men.
Yeah, I think they did. Yeah.
Or did they get a draw out of that? I can't remember.
Might have been a draw.
No, they went 1-1-0. So but anyway.
But in terms of Liverpool feeling the pressure, I don't think they do. What they've got in attack, they're frightening, and Everton just can't defensively. I've seen Sunday League teams better, and that's the truth.
Yeah.
They're shocking. 5-0.
Liverpool have lost just one of their last 22 Premier League games against Everton, winning 9, but drawing 12 though. A lot of draws. Though it did come in the exact fixture last season. And Everton won this exact fixture 2-0 last season, ending a 20-game winless away run against Liverpool in the league, drawing 9, losing 11. They have not won consecutive league visits at Anfield since February 1986, the year I was born, or the year before I was born. 5-0 you're saying. I don't think it'll be 5-0 because I think they will run around for Lampard. I think they will show a bit. 3-0.
I don't think Everton. I don't think they've got the players to play the way Lampard wants to play.
Yeah,
and that's the truth. And I can't see anything but a trouncing. 5-0. 5-0. I'm going to stick with that, mate.
Yeah,
I'm going to stick with that. 5-0.
Going all in. And do you know what? It's not impossible. I can see that happening as well. But yeah, I think a bit more reserve. 3-0. And the last game, Crystal Palace against Leeds. Crystal Palace are unbeaten in the last 5 home league games against Leeds, winning 3, drawing 2, winning this exact same fixture 4-1 last season. And Leeds have won their last 2 league games against Palace, though. They both have been at Ellen Road. They're now looking to complete their first double over over the Eagles since the 94-95 season, while they've never won 3 consecutively against them before.
Good team, Palace.
They are.
I like what Vieira's done there. He's instilled something there. I don't really know what it is, but he's done something good there. And again, they're another team a bit like Leicester. You don't know what one's going to turn up. They can be fantastic. FA Cup semi-final, they had their eye on that. Unfortunately, they lost that, and
quality was too much.
it was just too much for them. But he's done a really good job. I think at Palace this season, and I'm looking forward to watching next. With Leeds, Bielsa's gone.
Jesse Marsh steadied the ship, settled them down, made sure they're not going to get relegated.
They look a more solid outfit. They don't look as vulnerable. They've picked up a good few wins underneath him as well. I think they're safe as well. I can't see them getting dragged back into it. I think they've got too much quality. Phillips is back now, so I think he was a big miss for them. I think this is a bit of a damp squib, the game, isn't it? Coming towards the end of the season, I think both teams have got nothing really to play for now.
Bit of a dead rubber.
Let's go Palace.
Yeah, I think I'm going to go Palace just because I think after that Arsenal game, they've just let themselves down a little bit. Couldn't really reach the levels of what Arteta would have liked, of what Vieira would have liked. I just backed them to show a little bit. They're running out of home games. They can, though.
That's the thing,
and they can turn it on at any moment as well. They've got some really good players there, so we'll have a look at that. But I think I'm going to go 2-1 Palace.
I was going to say exactly
2-1 Palace. What do you think of this as well? The Premier League Hall of Fame. I'm going to ask you if you think there's any West Ham candidates in there. Paolo Di Canio down a day. Jermaine Defoe.
It all depends on what they're going on. If it's like if they've got different sections, the goal of it is going to be Di Canio's going to be in there.
Yeah.
But in terms of players, I can't really think of anyone that's been at West Ham that's going to get into an Hall of Fame. Maybe in a few years' time when they've started running out of players to put in, but. Declan Rice could go in it.
If he stays at West Ham for even longer. The latest players to be inducted into it: Didier Drogba, Paul Scholes, Vincent Kompany, Peter Schmeichel, and Sergio Aguero. I mean, Ian Wright. Sorry, you can't argue with any of those names.
No.
It's always like a steady kind of list of inductees, isn't it? It's going to just loads of players still to come. But you can't argue with them. No,
I mean they are. When you think about the Premier League, when I think about the Premier League, their names that would put
proper.
If he was doing a quiz and it said name 200 Premier League players over the years, them names would come first.
Yeah.
I'm sure Lampard will be in there if he ain't already. I don't know who's already been inducted.
Yeah,
Gerrard
Vieira's in it.
Vieira,
Keane's in it.
Yeah.
Rooney's in it.
Shearer's probably in it.
Shearer's got to be in it. I think Shearer was the first, I think.
Fowler will be in it. So yeah, there's so many names that you can pop in, but I can't think of anyone at Man United at West Ham. Sorry.
Man United is
Man United is going to have loads, but
Mark Noble?
No.
No.
As much as I love Nobes, he might get in it just because he's a one-man club, man.
Yeah.
But in terms of what we've done,
quality.
We've done nothing really, have we? If he wins the Europa League on the last game, I don't know. But
Carlos Tevez?
not for us. No, not for us.
Single-handedly kept you up, you know?
Yeah. I mean, there's like, as I say, they'll start running out of people eventually. So someone will pop in.
Pick him. He did all right in that season. Pyatt was all right when he was there.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Like, but I can't think of anyone offhand that's going to get in a Premier League Hall of Fame.
Yeah, no, I think it's a big ask. It's a big ask. We'll wait and see how many people will get inducted. What other players are left to go in there? I'm sure there's a hell of a lot more. Guys, thanks for watching. The game week preview, game day preview, sorry. What I will say is I'm dreading this game against Arsenal. I really am. I don't see how we win. I think we get another hiding, to be honest with you. Honestly, I can't see how we don't. So that's me on a personal. And you looking forward to Chelsea?
I am looking forward. I'm going. So I'm always looking forward to it. So.
You got everything to look for. Make sure you guys like and subscribe. Like the video and subscribe to DR Sports if you have not done already. Me and Nicky are out of here, guys. See you soon. Peace.